Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following episode. My name is Colton Brown, and joining me after a hiatus of several weeks, it's Mr. Andrew Meadows.
Long time.
Yeah. We're back.
Whew. We're back in the saddle again. Here we are.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we've sat in these respective chairs, talked about something. I think we finished our I think our last episode was on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is continuing to crush box offices and such across the world. But we're back to talk about something that I think wrapped up during our hiatus, The Mandalorian Season 3.
Yes.
The third season of The Mandalorian. It's a show that we've enjoyed since it debuted on Disney+. I think we've had a couple episodes in the past covering each of the first and second seasons, and it was back. 2023 brought us the return of The Mandalorian, and he brought some friends with him, and Grogu's in it. We love Grogu. We love us some Grogu. So yeah, we're talking about The Mandalorian Season 3 as our kind of hurrah, our grand return.
Fold. Yeah.
I think we've got a pretty busy May, is what I'm sensing. Evil Dead Rise came out. I believe a certain Mr. Meadows saw it quite recently. Maybe we'll talk about that. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is now in theaters, so that's something we got to talk about. Star Wars Visions, if you want to do more Star Wars goodness, maybe sometime down the road. So we've got lots of things on the horizon for what May is. And June is obviously a very busy a month for multiple reasons, certainly in terms of content, but also in terms of personal life, entanglements and such. For you. Things are going to get mighty interesting over there. So we've got a lot. We took some time off. Maybe we'll take some time off in June, as Baby B enters the world. But I think we're going to try to do as much in May as we can. I think now that we're back in business, if you don't mind, I might take this opportunity to give a fun fact.
Yeah,
it has absolutely nothing to do with The Mandalorian Season 3.
Well, either does Gherkins, but
that's right. The origin of fun fact did not start with being related to the episode at hand. That's true. My fun fact is I was in Europe for 2 weeks. Just under 2 weeks. My second fun fact is that upon my return from Europe, I got COVID. And so I'm in, I think, day 8 of COVID, which is better than day 1 and 2 and 3. About the same as day 7, roughly. So those are my two fun facts. So those are things that I'll talk about later. Mostly the Euro trip. I mean, COVID sucks, and there's really not much to say on that front. Anna and I both got it. Thankfully, we got it right after we came back from Europe instead of getting it while we were in Europe. That would have really sucked. But if I sound a little nasally or a little, I don't know, not quite right, it's because I feel pretty good, but I imagine I'm not exactly 100%, which is usually how it goes when you get COVID. Anyone that has gotten it, which is most people these days.
The world, yeah.
Everybody
knows.
It's not too much fun, even with, however many vaccines and stuff you have, it still puts you on your ass. Or if you're Andrew and you get it, I guess, before vaccines are even a thing, it really puts you on your ass.
That fucked me up bad. Fever dreams. I was oh man, I don't like thinking about it. It was brutal
stuff. But yeah, we'll catch up on all the Europe stuff in full detail after we get through all the other goodies we have in store for this episode. We've got a specific thing for news that I'll get to shortly. We'll be doing non-spoilers, full spoilers for The Mandalorian Season 3, and then hopefully we'll have some time to talk about everything that we've been up to.
Yeah, we've got so much to talk about.
I mean, it's been, 3 weeks since we last recorded, so, I'm going to be curious to hear what you've been up to during that time.
The bros have not gotten together in 2 weeks.
It's been a while.
We haven't, limited even in text message, you know what I mean? So, there's just a lot to catch up on. And
the time zone difference was kind of jarring.
Yes.
But I will say it's actually helped with my sleep schedule overall. I have appreciated that. It's gotten me away from being a night owl and, being on a more regular, I have to get up at this time to go to work kind of schedule. Not that I did that last week because, I was home with COVID and whatnot, but Today was my first day back to work. That's my third fun fact. I went back to work the day we're recording, and
after like 3 weeks,
I'm tired, dude. Is how I feel about it. Yeah, after 3 weeks away, I came back.
Who you are anymore?
There's like. I was wearing a mask, so they could barely recognize me. They could only tell by the cut of the suit. But I came back and there was like 3 boxes full of fucking files that just needed to be put away and organized. It's just total shit show. But they survived without me. But I think they'll appreciate having me back at the same time.
Nice.
So all my fun facts have nothing to do with the Mandalorian. But that's life. My fun facts are a brief snapshot of what's been going on in my life. And if you want to hear about more,
that's
of some
pretty
of those
fucking
things,
fun, dude. I can't think of a more fun fact. That's awesome. Good fun.
Yeah,
facts.
It's a good way for us to do a little brief catch up at the front, while also not going. I mean, when's the last time we didn't have a fun fact? Like, we got to keep the streak going, even if this is pretty fucking flimsy. If you say it's fun, then I think that's true.
That was pretty fun.
All right. Well, so for news. Needless to say, as is the case any time that we go too long without recording, which happens from time to time, we get a shit ton of news that stacks up, piles up. And as I mentioned, there is a lot of stuff, that we have available to cover in future episodes. So I figured, why would we do 3,000 pieces of news in one episode? Let's try to segment it out a little bit, keep things a little tighter on that front. And so for news on this episode, we're actually going to be talking about a bunch of news that broke, I think, right before we recorded on Mario. But we were already covering like Star Wars Celebration and like a bunch of other shit, and it was like, this is too much. This is too much news for one episode. Let's just move this out. So we're going to do it now. And that's basically everything to do with HBO, Warner Brothers Discovery's press event that they held about the new streaming service, which is basically replacing HBO Max, replacing Discovery Plus. And they announced the details of the streaming service, and then they announced a whole bunch of projects, or gave more details on projects that we knew about. And so those are the things that we'll talk about for the news, because there's, in the way that Star Wars Celebration was its own section of news, this is kind of the same thing, although far less exciting because it's not Star Wars. But there are some good things in here.
There's some stuff in here. Yeah, absolutely.
There are some good things that are interesting and I think going to be fun to talk about. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So let's talk about the details. Let's start this off with details of what the hell this new streaming service is. And I can tell you that it's not HBO Max and it's not Discovery Plus. It's Max. Just Max. MAX. So right off the bat, what do you think? Do you like the name?
No. No.
Okay. What is it about it that doesn't do it for you?
Man, there is a certain pedigree that I think is associated with HBO. And I think by doing away with HBO in an attempt to, I don't know what this attempt is, but I assume it's an attempt to bring everything under one umbrella. I assume. Yeah,
basically. Instead of having your 2 streaming services, you now have one, but it's not strictly speaking HBO, and it's also not strictly speaking Discovery stuff. It's both. Yeah.
I think you have decades worth of stuff that's great because and it's associated with HBO. I just think it's a disservice you do to yourself because I don't think HBO needed a rebrand. Now Warner Brothers I think is a totally different thing, but HBO, even though they have their hiccups, don't get me wrong, everybody does, but like I said, there's a pedigree associated with HBO. You see HBO, you see a high quality show, and you say, "Oh yeah, it's on HBO." You I think you're inclined to believe it's going to be an HBO show. You know what I mean? At least I am. So I think by calling something Max, and I also don't care for the all lowercase letter treatment of the logo and the target A. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the whole thing. I'm also not excited about another change. Like, do I have to re-sign up, or am I automatically going to be scooped in?
Well, you might have to pay a little bit more money.
Yeah, which is a good point. What about these fucking things? These tiers?
Yeah, lots of changes. So the biggest change, I think, is that it is technically more content. It's basically everything that was already on HBO Max with a new name. plus all the stuff that was on Discovery Plus. So your Love It or List It, your Fixer Uppers, or whatever is on all those services. Like a lot of the reality stuff on Discovery Plus now gets folded into what you pay for on Max. I'm going to still call it HBO Max from time to time because I'm going to slip because I'm just used to it, But one of the bigger changes as well is it's now going to be tiered. And the tiers, unfortunately, include ads as part of it. So your cheapest option, your $10 a month option, gets you all the access to all the content with ads. And so there's that. Your kind of mid tier.
My first complaint, not to cut you off, okay? I feel passionate
by all
about
means.
this, okay?
Go ahead.
It's almost like the maybe it's the iPhone naming, like the way that they name their phones. But you have iPhone Pro Max, iPhone Max Pro. It's fucking stupid.
Should we? I guess I just am just saying this is the cheap one, this is the middle one, this is the expensive one. But they have little names for them. Max Ad Lite,
HBO Lite would have been great, or whatever. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. Discovery
Max
Light.
Ad Lite sounds like a cheap beer to me. I don't.
Max Ad Lite, yeah, it's fucking shitty.
sounds like it's right next to Natty Lights in the case.
And they're going to be embarrassed.
Keystone Light.
They're going to be embarrassed to tell somebody they have that. Hey, which one do you have? Max Ad Lite.
Max Ad Lite.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. $9.99 a month.
$9.99 a month, which is cheaper than the current iteration of HBO Max, which obviously does not have ads. So the mid-tier price point, which is $15.99 a month, which is what the current rate is for an HBO Max subscription, that's called Max Ad Free. Sounds less like a beer, to be fair. The catch with this one is it gets you all of the content, but you are capped to streaming at 1080p. And so the Max Ultimate Ad Free, the expensive tier, the top tier one, jumps you up to 4K Ultra HD resolution, Dolby Atmos sound quality, gives you more offline downloads, more more devices you can stream on at the same time, and that is $20 a month, $19.99 a month, or $200 a year. So yeah, you're talking about a streaming service that basically offers you the same features that you already have, jumping up to $20 a month. And yes, a little bit more content, but is that worth the trade-off? I don't know. What do you think?
So at a time I did pay for both Discovery Plus and
right,
when I was
which is
catching
probably cheaper than it would have been to pay for both of those separate. Like $19.99 a month is probably cumulatively a little bit less than what those would have separately added up to.
Consolidating all that stuff into one thing, I think, definitely adds value. Definitely, I would say adds value to Discovery Plus because I feel like not everybody, but I would say a lot of people probably have HBO Max. The naming conventions suck. Max, like Ultimate Max would be cool, and then you don't need ad free.
Max Ultimate ad free, yeah. It's just a fucking mouthful bullshit. I feel like if it's Max Ultimate, it should be fucking implied that there aren't ads. Because if you're even talking about the possibility of ads when you're paying $20 a month, like,
come on,
fuck
man,
you.
Fuck you, exactly. It's also worth noting that you don't get you can't hit 4K until you spend $20, and with the cheapest one, you can't download any offline shows.
That's true. I didn't actually say that.
So unless you have
another limitation,
if you travel. Fuck you. Like, if you can't watch HBO on an airplane. Yeah, get fucked.
Guess you should get fucked or give us more money.
Max Ad Lite. That's what you get for the naughty ice.
Max Ad Lite. Yeah. You enjoy watching things, while you're connected to the internet, because that's all you can do, motherfucker.
Like, I'm surprised they just didn't knock down the quality again. 720p.
Honestly, I bet they considered it, and they're like, is that really going to piss people off?
This is for the people that just solely watch things on their cell phone for $100 a year.
Yeah, SD resolution only. $5 a month.
HBO makes good stuff. I'll always have HBO account. I did drop Discovery. Maybe that's why they're increasing the HBO Max thing and lumping everything into one, is because probably a lot of people don't have Discovery if they're anything like me. I don't have it anymore.
I'm sure that the numbers are a lot more people with HBO Max, less people with Discovery Plus, but they do kind of, I would say, cater to two different kinds of things. I mean, I guess there's probably some reality stuff on HBO Max, but it's a bit of a different vibe overall. So I'm not mad about, like, obviously more content being added to HBO Max, but the pay more money to watch in 4K thing, just that feels like a giant middle finger to me personally.
Especially for 2023, right?
Yeah, it's like, well, none of the other streaming services are doing this,
and
they're not this expensive.
And audio channels.
Yeah, right. It's right?
Like you're going to reduce the quality of the thing that's made.
Because I just think like the pre-existing, like you're paying $15.99 a month already. You get 4K now. You get presumably Dolby Atmos quality for whatever offers it. And it just feels like, to me, I mean, obviously, like Netflix is like every few months is like, here's another $1, to your thing. Like they do it gradually enough that you're like, oh, it's not too bad. Of course, if you looked at your Netflix, price three years ago, it's probably $5 cheaper. It's probably the same difference in terms of price. But this, to me, when you just jump up, and I know it's only $4 a month, like it's not that big of a difference. But at the same time, I'm already paying this amount, having those features, and now you're telling me, oh, if you want those features that you already have, pay more money. That to me feels like...
And and that's kind of the scary thing. Like, there's a big convenience factor with streaming all your shit. I've almost entirely kind of just... I don't buy physical media anymore. I actually sold a bunch of my physical media because I ran out of space, and that's the problem with the physical media. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the same time, nobody's dicking around with the quality of my shit. Like, if I want to watch something, it's the quality it was intended to be viewed in. And for them to put a price point on the creator's like view for something and how they intended it to be watched is pretty shitty. I mean, Netflix does the same thing to a certain extent, but or to the same exact extent, I guess. But it's just blatant here especially when they present their tiers. It's like
and I just think when you can make arguments all day about the amount of content, maybe the quality of content, etc. But when Disney Plus offers basically all of these features for less than half the price, and yes, again, different content, I don't know. To me, it just feels.
Another key point here feels
a little icky.
So, how much of that content is actually up 4K?
Right.
Because you're not watching Fixer Upper in 4K.
Most of it's not, I would imagine.
Right.
Your HBO shows are going to be in 4K. Big like new release movies kind of things when they go to streaming, I'm sure will be in 4K. But other than that, it's like what's going to be in 4K,
right? What exactly? And I ran into the same thing with YouTube TV. YouTube TV offers, I think it's like $73 right now a month for YouTube TV basic, and then you can spend an additional like $15 or $20 a month to get it in 4K. But you can't get a clear answer on what exactly comes in 4K
included there. Yeah.
And it's rolled so I don't fucking pay for it. I mean, and if I could have a clear answer, all the channels you watch are in 4K. Well, then I'd probably get it. But nothing is.
Yeah.
Like it's one international soccer game that's in 4K. It's like I don't.
Well, if it's a team you support, then that's a really good deal. But otherwise, maybe not so much. But anyway,
that's that.
That's Max. It's launching May 23rd, so it's just a couple weeks away from when we're recording that HBO Max will no longer exist and it will be replaced by Max.
The third name change in like 4 or 5 years, by the way. I want to say.
Yeah.
Man, this is all Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
just all
I mean,
fucked up.
yes, yeah. Warner Brothers is all funky and shit. So, Anyway, that's what's going on, and so that kind of feeds into all the next things that we're going to talk about, which is, all right, if I'm spending fucking $20 a month on this shit, what am I getting? Obviously, I know that I'm going to be getting some reality stuff from Discovery Plus folded in. We'll get The Last of Us Season 2, etc. But what else? What else can I look forward to? What are the things that Warner Brothers Discovery thought, this is some good shit? As we're announcing this new streaming service, these are the things that we're teasing it with. We're saying, hey, this is Max, and here's what you can look forward to on Max. So the first thing that not necessarily the first thing, one of the things that they announced was another Game of Thrones prequel. it is going to be officially called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. It's based off of the Dunk and Egg novellas from George R.R. Martin, which are about 100 years before the events of Game of Thrones book series and TV series. It's about Dunk, who is Sir Duncan the Tall, who's a future Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and Egg, who is a future King Aegon V Targaryen, as they wander Westeros having adventures together. And so there's 3 novellas that Martin's written, and I think that they're pretty popular. People seem to like them pretty well. And so this has been officially ordered to series. They're skipping just doing the pilot kind of thing. Like, this is full on, the same way that House of the Dragon is full on. Like, we'll be getting a full season of this, and maybe several, depending on how much of, I don't know if it's going to be a one novella to season kind of deal, or how they're planning to adapt it. But this is beyond House of the Dragon. This is the next Game of Thrones project that you can look forward to. So does that tempt you to watching this in 4K, $20 a month on Max?
Yeah, I mean, if the quality is I was kind of down on the House of the Dragon, probably because of the way I viewed it, but the quality was good. I don't think I dispute. I mean, I didn't dispute
even with your issues, it was still
high quality television.
Beyond the latter seasons of Game of Thrones. So
yeah, so I mean, I like good stuff. I'd be down for it. Especially, I think it would be cool too. The way that you described it is it almost sounded like a Mandalorian-esque kind of show, like you said, adventures and whatnot. So if we could have a, kind of just like a daily adventure of the Hedge Knight, that'd be pretty cool. If we had one loose
different flavor of Game of Thrones, where it's maybe a little lighter, in terms of tone. Not as much, dragons fighting and whatnot, and, people trying to steal the throne from one another, etc.
Yeah, the small guy, an adventure with the small guy, the guy that's trying to do good, finds himself in different scenarios. That sounds pretty cool. I'd be down for something like that.
Yeah. So
we're $20.
That's what we have.
HBO ad-free Max Ultimate.
We'll be getting House of the Dragon Season 2, of course. That's, I believe, currently filming right now. But we'll be getting the Hedge Knight as well, joining the fold on the Game of Thrones front. So that's one thing. Another thing, which is something that was previously announced, is that DC, is in a little bit of a turnover period right now, where they're finishing up some of the pre-existing projects before James Gunn and Peter Safran came aboard as the Voltron Kevin Feige of DC. But one of the things that they did announce when they announced the Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters thing was an animated show called Creature Commandos, which is going to be the first animated series within this new era of DC, within the new DCU timeline, with James Gunn kind of, leading the charge, basically. And so one of the announcements that we got was the full voice cast of this. And something James Gunn has made clear is that anyone that's being cast to do the voice would also reprise the role in a live-action setting if that character was to, basically appear in a live-action format, which it sounds like, if they're casting it this way, would probably be the intent at some point down the line, for the characters to basically be animated and jump off from the animation. A little bit Star Wars-esque, right? Rebels and stuff that we're seeing with Ahsoka and such. So who we have, some recurring James Gunn kind of collaborators, and then some other people as well, some talented people. So Sean Gunn is back as Weasel, who we were introduced to in The Suicide Squad. Frank Grillo is playing Rick Flag Sr. Maria Bakalova is playing Princess Ilana Rostovich. Indira Varma is playing the bride, who's kind of like the bride of Frankenstein. Zoe Chow is playing Nina Mazursky. Alan Tudyk is playing a character by the name of Dr. Phosphorus. David Harbour is playing Eric Frankenstein, who is like a Frankenstein monsters kind of deal. Sean Gunn is pulling double duty, playing a character by the name of G.I. Robot. And then finally, Steve Agee is reprising his role as John Economos, and he has appeared in the Peacemaker. I think was technically in the Suicide Squad and a small thing, if I'm not mistaken. And so the Creature Commandos are basically a team that's going to work under the supervision of Amanda Waller, who obviously has had a big component in the James Gunn stuff thus far. And so that's the voice cast. You know, it's a bunch of weird, oddball James Gunn type of characters, on a team together doing missions and shit. So there you go. That's kind of the premise, the voice cast. If you click the link, you can kind of see the rendering of the characters that we got when they revealed it previously. So you got some strange looking characters for sure. And one guy, you got a regular guy. That's Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo's the regular guy. But yeah, what do you think? Creature Commandos, that any of those names intrigue you? Premise intrigue you? Anything about that? Get you hyped for the 4K version on $20 a month max thing?
I could have probably had this on Naughty Ice. I think I might tune into it, and if it's just like, wow, this is incredible, then I might find a way to watch it. Depending on episode count and like all that good stuff, might be fun though. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, well, give me a trailer or something.
I mean, I haven't seen Guardians Volume 3, but maybe in James Gunn we trust. We'll see. He's got a lot on his plate. Let's put it that way. And
yeah, he does.
Shepherding the DC universe, especially after the general shit show it's been for years now, no easy task. So it seems like an interesting show. Seems like an interesting concept. Seems like a good voice cast. So I'm willing to see what happens.
Give it a
with
shot.
It. So yeah. So Creature Commandos. All right, one more kind of announcement kind of thing, and then we'll have some trailers that they brought to the table. And this one's mighty interesting. We are getting a new iteration of Harry Potter, a Harry Potter Max Original Series, which is set to be a 10-year, 10-season monstrosity, adapting all 7 books in the series. And they're bringing back a lot of people that were involved with the film adaptations previously. And they're bringing J.K. Rowling, heavily involved in bringing this to life. So that's obviously stirred up some controversy, as you might expect, given that she sucks as a person and is not afraid to tell you about it. So I don't know. I have a lot of complicated thoughts about a new version of Harry Potter. I've spent pretty much almost a year, not quite literally a year, probably like the last 9 months. I did reread the book series. I did finally fucking finish it.
Wow. Okay.
And it's something that I grew up with. Yeah, they're good books. I can say that they're good books. I don't think they're perfect, but I enjoyed them. I think they're meaningful to me because I grew up with them. And obviously we grew up with the movies being made and stuff. So there's a lot of kind of. Again, I have a lot of complicated thoughts about like Harry Potter in terms of just the franchise as it currently exists. Well, there were probably demon.
There was magic in them, but I was allowed to watch the show. I was allowed to watch the movies, I should say. Allowed to watch the movies, not allowed to read the books.
Yeah, well, it's a classic. The book is better than the movie kind of deal, which is usually how these things work. But all right, well, before I get ranty with this, or too ranty, rantier than I already am, what do you think? What do you think about a Harry Potter TV show coming to Max?
It seems like, I guess the Harry Potter train never really stopped, I guess.
Yeah, it just kind of had some roadblocks here and there. I feel like the Fantastic Beasts franchise kind of just went sideways pretty quickly.
It did. But
this feels like the course correction. Like Fantastic Beasts was meant to be the continuation.
You have a wildly popular video game that just came out.
That's true, and I think that sold very well. Yep.
They're definitely capitalizing on the property in a big way. It seems like just here recently, but then you also have the theme park that's been out for a while after the movies came out and stuff. It did get
plenty of revenue.
It did get slow. It did get slow with the Fantastic Beasts and all that stuff, and it sucked pretty hard. I can say.
Well, I think that those two things are correlated. Like, the worse those movies got, the worse they did. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a good thing is usually a winning. You know.
And then on top of that,
model,
you got J.K. sucking. You know, just being an asshole, not liking. You know, just being shitty. You got J.K. being shitty is what it is. Which is a whole nother thing, but I like you say, those movies have it's like remaking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think I have the same kind of feeling where it's like, has it been long enough? Like, has it? Like, I really don't think it has. I mean, yes, it's been quite literally 20 years since the first one came out, 20 plus years really, but it's like, has it been long enough? I don't know. I just to do a fully
you had to
new
find another
iteration.
child actor to replace Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, who's going to fucking play him for 10 years? You know, I mean, those poor fucking kids are going to go through the ringer, just not only in the process of just, you know, having their lives transformed to do this, but because they're going to be a magnet for fucking hate, because anyone that agrees to be in this project, to be involved in this project, has to deal with JK's bullshit. They have to inherently deal with that bullshit. Like, that's always going to follow someone that does anything with this fucking show. And like, if you're a fucking 10-year-old getting cast, like,
you're not,
you're
not aware of that shit. You're just playing a fucking wizard, Harry. That's cool.
Right. You know, and so I think that's a really tough kind of thing. But I don't know, man, I think the thing is, yeah, go ahead.
I would say that something as beloved as the property is, it's a really hard thing because she's a very vocal person too. It's not like she's fucking.
I think
dead
that is the problem. If she was dead, I would say by all means, please make more.
It's just, you know, the separating the actor from their like transgressions, or the person from their transgressions, and the way they act is difficult when they're constantly fucking being loud about their opinions. So that's hard. It's a huge undertaking to remake it. I mean, they did capture lightning in a bottle to follow the same 3 or 4 actors for all this time. You know what I mean? And they had a lot of fabulous actors and actresses involved that have since passed away. They're really, like I said, I really think that the franchise as a film franchise, independent of all the controversy and stuff, I think it really is lightning in a bottle, and to try to do it again, is a huge undertaking. Because I mean, if you're doing it in a show format, are you following the same actor, or are you going to recast when they hit teenage years, right? What are you going to do? I think
the idea is to do it for 10 years and have the same cast the whole way through.
But do you have enough content? Is every book a season, or is it every year a Hogwarts? How do you do that?
I would say yes for some books and no for the others, because like the books kind of got fatter as the series went on for the most part. You know, you're starting with something that's 200-300 pages for the first couple books, and by the time you're at book 5, it's 800 pages, and it's like an 800 pager could fill out a season. It could fill out 2 seasons. It shouldn't, but it could. Whereas I almost feel like book 1 is like relatively, if the longest book is 1 season, how do you make the shortest book also 1 season without just really fucking stretching it out? You know what I mean? Like that's first movie it's long. It's like 2.5 hours, but it covers like 85% of what's in that book. Like there's very minimal cuts. Whereas then you get to the 5th movie, which is like under 2 hours and cuts out basically half the book. And so it's like, I can see how they can make TV shows out of these books in terms of what the source material offers, but they're not equal to each other. Like, you know, so I think that having it as like 10 episodes kind of thing doesn't really make sense unless you're going to start mixing and matching some of the events, in which case, if you're, I don't know.
And my larger concern,
go ahead. Sorry.
My big concern too is JK being involved as heavily as she is. I mean, because she's a producer or something on this.
Yeah, she's fully hands-on producer.
Being that she's fully hands-on this property, or being on fully hands-on the show. Does it become a situation like Ridley Scott? Right? Like where you did this really awesome stuff for like a little while, but then you also made Fantastic Beasts. And how involved was she in that shit?
Right, and how much anti-trans bullshit she's gonna chuck in this, like
do you are you so, I mean, like everybody else of potentially her age, is she so like involved and has like she's so wrapped up in her own bullshit to where she feels the need to like beat people over the head in this show with it, I hope not.
I think that seeing how those way? Fantastic Beasts have how that Fantastic Beasts franchise developed, I think the answer is yes. She's fucking lost it. Not even, even outside of, obviously her anti-trans stances, which she just cannot help but spewing on Twitter day in, day out. Those movies fucking sucked, and the writing was bad in them, and she was fully kind of in charge. Like that second movie, she like fully wrote the script. I think the third one, she wrote a script and maybe it had a different pass on it or something like that. But like the more entrenched she gets into like building out this lore, the more it just turns into dog shit, and it's just...
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's you've spent so much time with it that you are the expert on it, whatever. You created this world, but you cannot... Like you're just so steeped into it that you just love the smell of your own bullshit. And if anyone would call you out for that and say, this is kind of dumb. Maybe we could do it this differently. Like, well, how dare you know better than me? I am, I fucking made
creator.
Harry Potter. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you did, but you can also be a dipshit too,
Yeah.
So,
and it sucks for someone like yourself who is, like I watch the movies. That's where it ends. Right. Yeah. And I really like the movies. But still, that's kind of where it ended. You know what I mean? You've been involved with the franchise for a long time, so to watch somebody kind of like steer the plane into the ground is kind of upsetting. But I hear the game's great. It's wildly popular.
Yeah, I think the thing with the game is it was made without her involvement.
Okay,
but because of how the rights work, every copy of that sold just lines her pockets. So it's kind of just how do you draw the line? Like, I think with something like this where she's so heavily involved, it's pretty easy to draw the line of like, I'm good. I have the movies. I'm fine. I already own them. I already own the books. I'm not literally paying money to watch them, whereas the game, it's tough, you can buy a used copy, you're not, you're not directly lining her pocket that way. I've heard the game is good. I'm interested in playing it. I've always thought a Harry Potter game could be really fun. And by all accounts, it seems to be kind of what you'd want a Harry Potter game to be, without, I guess, quite, it's, Hogwarts kind of shit, not quite literally the Harry Potter timeline and stuff, but I don't know. I think with this show, it's kind of in the same vein where it's like the movies are of mixed quality. I think that some of them are really good, and I think some of them are really bad. I think some of them are really good adaptations, and I think some of them are really bad adaptations. And I think some of them are good adaptations while still being pretty unfaithful to the book. So it's like there's a way to do a TV series that's like more faithful to the books, gives you more time to breathe with the characters, and enjoy episodic format and pacing and stuff like that. Like there's a way to do this could be really good and really interesting and really well done. I just don't know that we need it right now. Is again kind of probably my first point of like the movies are still good enough. Despite their imperfections and my issues with them, they're still good enough that we don't need. It's not like they fucked it out the gate the first time around and like we're in desperate need of them doing it again.
And the shoes to fill. Like how do you... And
it's kind of just like, that's the other thing is like logistically, it's like, is Hogwarts just going to look the same? Is, like obviously like it's going to be different casts and such, but like everyone's going to be compared. Like how could you be a better Hagrid than Robbie Coltrane? How are you going to be a better Snape than Alan Rickman? Like, good fucking luck. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, big shoes to fill.
That's a really tough thing to have to do. And like visually, is it going to be distinct? Is it going to look different? Like, if it's going to look the same, what's the point? Other than money. I mean, I know money is the end game of all of this, obviously. It's the reason they're going back to this well so soon. I say so soon, even if it has been 20 years, because Fantastic Beasts sucked and it wasn't turning a profit. So let's do the thing that we think will make us the most money, which is just doing fucking Harry Potter again. It's like, yeah, if you did remake Lord of the Rings, ground up, full on Lord of the Rings, it would probably make bank. I think people would ask the same questions, minus the JK bit, but it would be the same kind of conversation of, Do we need this? And the answer is probably, that's the shit we talk about all the time with the Disney live action movies. Do we need it? No, of course not. Will we watch it? Yeah, probably. You know? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's the exact same, like, kind of calculus that you go through.
Yeah, we'll probably watch it. They're fucking making it. We're watching it, you know? And it's, and
I think if it was just that conversation that we're having, I would say, yeah, I'll watch this.
You know, and it's kind of a
with
bummer.
With the JK stuff, like, I'm out.
You say, the money's the whole point of it, right?
Until she croaks. Until she croaks, nah, fuck her. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, well, you know. But the first movies were, at least the very first one.
I'm fine with what the movies are. I'm fine with the books as is. I'm okay with those two sets of, mediums. Like, that's good enough for me, personally. Right. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to talk some trailers?
Yeah, let's talk some trailers.
All right, first up, Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai. Official teaser. Something we talked about, I think, at the beginning of the year, was the thing that was coming out this year.
Yeah.
And I was saying, let's do a Gremlins bonus episode. I love Gremlins 1 and 2.
Yeah, we did. That's right, yes.
Some good shit. Well, this is coming out this month, so fuck all that. We're not doing that. Obviously, we got other shit to worry about. But I think more pressingly, I don't think this looks very good. I don't know. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree?
It's got like a... I'm not a fan of that animation style.
It's obviously a kid's show, first and foremost, but the animation style, I think, is fucking hideous.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I was just like, oh, all the excitement that I had about an animated Gremlins thing has just gone right out the window as soon as I took one look at this. And watching the 1 minute and 58 seconds didn't change my mind, is how I felt about it. I don't think it looks terrible. It just looks like not my thing.
Yeah, I won't be watching this.
I will say, you should still watch Gremlins 1 and 2. You should watch Gremlins 1 and 2. We can just do a bonus episode sometime down the line, maybe.
That sounds
or just
fun.
Watch it on
I think I would be down to do a bonus episode on Gremlins 1 and 2. But as long as it doesn't involve this, I don't think I'd be able to make my way through this. Might have to. Baby B's on his way, and he just might go.
Yeah, maybe this
absolutely
is some good
bonkers
content. Might love some Gremlins. Secrets of the Mogwai.
He will be a young boy, and he will not know how to interact with technology for a little while, and as a result of that, I will be the curator of his content. So we probably won't watch Secrets of the Mogwai.
Probably not. It's got an impressive voice cast: James Hong, Ming-Na Wen, B.D. Wong, was it Sandra Oh, Bone Yang, George Takei, Zach Galligan, back from the original Gremlins 1 and 2, which is fun. I think it's from the creator, or at least the creator of the Gremlins movies is involved, Joe Dante, and it's like, it feels like it should bode well, but I don't know, it just has this sort of cash grabby feel to it. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe kids will like it. If not Baby B, other kids might like it. But
I'll be honest, if you're going to try to reinvent a thing, which maybe it's just where we're at, and like maybe it's just a result of where we're at. There's been a lot of great things made, and it seems like we just want to continue to regurgitate things. Let's just keep making things based off this other thing, and it's kind of. Be honest, I feel like it's kind of exhausting. It's like, what are we all out of fucking ideas now? We can't come up with original stuff. But it's really cool when they reinvent something for a new audience or reinvent something for a younger generation. I think that's exciting. So, anyways, my 2 cents.
Well,
but that doesn't look like, for me. It looks pretty shit. So
yeah, if it's for you, great. By all means, I hope you enjoy, and I hope it's good. I'm not sure that I'm going to spend my time with it. There's a lot of content out in the world, on and off Max. I'm hard pressed to see this getting my time, is how I feel about it. But it's coming out later this month in May. So if it is your taste, enjoy some Gremlins. And hell, if it's not to your taste, go watch the original Gremlins 1 and 2. Maybe they'll be on Max as well. In 4K or not. I don't know. Check before you upgrade to $20 a month. Next up, an official teaser for something else called The Sympathizer. It's an HBO original limited series, which is based off of a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel. It's got the talents of Robert Downey Jr. I look both on screen and behind the screen. Teamed up with Old Boy's Park Chan-wook is what I believe what the trailer said, which is an interesting kind of creative team. And it looks like, for the most part, a Vietnamese cast. It's kind of a Vietnamese-centered story, which I thought looked interesting. How about you? Did you find?
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be my shit. It's also from A24.
Oh yes, indeed. Good call.
Yeah, definitely 100%. I think it's going to be awesome. I got some new faces on here that I've never seen before. The guy being like interviewed for, I guess, what is a job or something in the beginning. The whole interaction seems kind of like chilling and kind of funny at the same time. And it almost has like a kind of like a Barry vibe in a way, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
But it's also like Robert Downey Jr. looks like he's an over the top kind of character. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun ride. I'm pretty excited about the show. I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I'm not familiar with the novel. It's a 2015 novel, so it's pretty recent. But it, by all accounts, seems to be a great novel, and one that's obviously ripe for adaptation. So I tend to consume most of my media and film and TV. And if I like it enough, then I will usually work backward and read something after the fact. But I'm curious to check this out. And I think the TV show, this is kind of an out of nowhere kind of one for me that looks really good. I think it is. I don't think we got a release date on it, but I think it's 2024. So I think we're a ways off for this one.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
Yeah, and it's a pretty full on trailer for something that's at least
so far
7
out.
months away. But I guess that's what you do when you're trying to hype your fucking streaming services. Hey, if you spend $20 now, well, in 12 months, you'll have this thing on it. It's like, okay. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
So The Sympathizer is another thing that will be available on Max, but not until 2024. And it looks good. So that might get me to a 4K, $20 a month kind of deal. But will True Detective Night Country do the same? This is something that is coming out later this year. I don't think any specific date, but
no, this year.
Just this year, probably December. Because that's how these things work, right? It's the next chapter in the True Detective, line of shows, HBO shows. Effectively, season 4. It's got Jodie Foster leading the charge this time. It's set in Alaska, and sounds like there's some murder mystery business happening yet again.
Looks good. So, I didn't watch the last season.
Yeah, neither did I. Season 3, season 2 was quite enough for me to stay away from True Detective for a while, possibly forever. But we'll see.
I think. Maybe I'll just try it. One day, I'm going to have a couple weeks off here soon. So maybe I try it.
Yeah.
And then in preparation for this one, because this one looked pretty good, and I haven't seen Jodie Foster in a lot lately, so...
that seems to be the theme of the YouTube comments, which is basically like, if Jodie Foster agreed to be in this, that's usually because she doesn't just do shit, for paychecks these days. Like, she's pretty selective. I think she directs a lot. I think she does a lot of stuff that is not like a full-on acting, like a lead acting role. So for her to have taken this role, I mean, maybe she just needed money really badly, or maybe she really liked the scripts and said, this is really interesting, and if it's anything like that fucking first season of True Detective, I mean, it very well could be really fucking,
so
excellent, prestige television. It's just, even if it wasn't for season 2 of True Detective, like, we would still hold True Detective, as like the high water mark of like fucking TV, in the way that, like, we talked about The Last of Us and stuff like that, where it's just like,
true.
This is top tier HBO television, which is just in some ways a cut above a lot of other TV, that HBO branding means a lot. except for when you fuck it, like True Detective season 2, and you're like,
they fuck it just as hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this does not look like season 2 in terms of tone, style, feel, or anything like that. It looks. I mean, the setting I think is a really interesting kind of place for them to go with it.
I got Wind River kind of vibes from it.
Yeah, definitely some Wind River vibes I think going on, which is good, which is a good thing, I think. So, I'm curious about it. I'm not. I don't know if I'm a day one on it or anything like that, but I think with some positive reviews, I could see myself going back in on it, and I feel like I wouldn't need to go like it's not going to be connected to season 3, so. Like I'm not going to feel bad if I just jump straight to this one.
Sure.
While having skipped season 3.
How did that other one review though?
I think 3 was pretty good overall. It was like definitely better than 2, not as good as 1. I think was pretty much everyone's, thought process on it. Yeah. Which, 1's a high bar, 2's really bad. If it ends up between those, I think there's a really wide range there.
Exactly.
That doesn't tell me a lot. It's exactly what I would expect you to say. But it doesn't tell me a lot either. So I don't know. I mean, I think it was Mahershala Ali, I think, that led it.
It was. Yes, it was. That's why I'm curious about it.
I think it was like 3 different time periods kind of deal. I don't know. I mean, it seems like an interesting premise and cast. So maybe it's worthwhile someday, but I got other shit to watch still.
That's true. A lot of shit to watch.
But True Detective Night Country is coming out this year sometime. And something that is not coming out this year, but is coming out in 2024 as well, that we got an in-production teaser for. Last but not least for the news is the follow-up to the Batman, The Penguin. Colin Farrell is back playing a different man that looks nothing like Colin Farrell. He's waddling about, he's shooting people and laughing, he's having a hell of a time, it would appear.
Waddling like a penguin.
He's waddling about, no doubt about it. So yeah, it's kind of your first, the Batman, follow up with, basically this angle about who's filling the void of taking over Gotham from the mob standpoint and stuff. And so I think that this is, I think it's a really exciting thing for them to do. Center it on Colin Farrell, who is awesome in a fairly limited role in the Batman. Give him, center stage, and just kind of have this kind of crime drama kind of deal. Maybe with the Batman involved, maybe without the Batman involved. I mean, I guess we'll kind of see how they deal with that aspect of it. But I like this idea of continuing the Batman universe in other ways. Obviously, as they're writing the Batman Part 2 and stuff, I think this is it should make for a pretty interesting kind of, companion piece. I would expect. So what do you think?
I'm very excited about this show. Who's Matt? Matt Reeves is attached.
Matt Reeves is involved. Too? Yeah, I don't know exactly the extent of his involvement. I think it has like its own showrunner that's who's someone else, but I think Matt Reeves is at least producing. I mean, I don't think he's like, I think he's pretty hands-on, is what it sounds like. But obviously, as much as he can, while still also making, the Batman sequel as well. So
I think it's really interesting, like the little details in this, whatever you want to call it, in production teaser, I guess is what they're calling these things now. Mm-hmm. He's got a leg brace. His Maserati's got barrels of guns in the grill in case he fucks Batman again. He's prepared. It's and just seeing him as the Penguin is just, it's still mind blowing. Like there's no way this is the same guy from Banshees.
I mean, it's a total transformation. I mean, obviously,
total
physically
transformation. It's nuts.
Yes, but just, I mean, he's a fucking different person. When he puts on the Oswald Cobblepot makeup, he's fucking someone else under there. He is. I think it's so fun to see, honestly.
And I can't remember, but did Guardians of the Galaxy, did he the guy that's in charge of DC now?
Oh, James Gunn. Yeah.
Yes, James Gunn. I was going to say J.J. Abrams. That's not right. Did James Gunn say how the Batman and the Penguin are all like where they're at as far as this?
They're Elseworlds. They're their own universe. Nothing. Not they're not getting swept
Superman's
up in the
not
rest of the
gonna drop
DC
in
stuff.
here. Okay.
Correct. It's the Batmaniverse is its own standalone universe, at least until they go multiverse with it, the way Marvel's doing it. But for now, it's fully separate.
That's okay by me.
And that's okay. I think that's okay. I don't need a Superman in this world.
No, that's where I get concerned. Like, does Superman float down at the end of one of the movies? I hope not. And it doesn't sound like we have to worry about that. Yeah, excellent. So
I think it's like the Nolan movies. It's their own thing. It's their own take on the Batman kind of thing, and maybe they'll play with some elements of the lore, but don't worry about it being part of this bigger universe kind of deal. That's okay. I think it works. I think for what the way that they crafted this world, to me, doesn't lend itself to being a Superman and a Green Lantern and a Wonder Woman kind of, no Justice League kind of deal really makes sense in this, but at the same time, I think that you can, and they basically already said, like, we're doing a different Batman movie with the Batman that's part of this universe, and it's like, good, make a totally different Batman. That's totally fine.
Easy.
Someone else plays them.
Totally different
costume, different kind of behavior, different aesthetic. Like, do all of that. I have no issues with that whatsoever. But let Matt Reeves cook. We let. I think we said let Dave Filoni cook on the last episode that we recorded. Yeah. Let Matt Reeves cook. When you have these creatives involved, like you give them some money. And you just let them work. Let them go to town, like that's it. There's nothing wrong with that approach, So
it looks great. I'm very excited about this.
So 8 episodes, 2024. It's the Penguin, taking place 1 week following the events of the Batman. Real follow up. So there you go. And that is it for the news. That's Max. Are you sold? To close the loop here, are you sold on Max? What do you think?
Well, I'm not going to watch all this shit in 1080p. I promise you. Okay. So if I choose to watch,
you're going to watch a Penguin in 4K, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I've got no choice. I have to do it. So, yeah. I'm paying for Ultimate Max.
Are you going to jump your plan back? Back and forth. You're like, I don't really give a shit about anything. $10 a month. $15 a month, 20.
Based on the releases,
based on what you actually give a shit about, or do you think you're just
I'm too lazy?
I'll just eat the money.
Yeah.
Probably just $20 a month, man. That's brutal. It's fucking brutal, man.
So between American Idol, YouTube TV, and fucking HBO Max Ultimate ad-free TV.
Guess what? You're paying more than you would for cable.
Yeah, that's the way they've
we've arrived at the point where it's like, they did all of this.
We're cutting the cord. We're going to save all this money.
Exactly, and now we've just gotten to the point where there's just so fucking many streaming services, and they're so goddamn expensive that like we're just where we started.
I'm still not on MGM TV. MGM TV's been like popping up on the YouTube TV. I haven't hopped on board on that or the Apple TV. I canceled that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, so maybe you're a little under the threshold of what the cable might have cost, but
I'm still paying $75 to watch American Idol. That's rough.
Well, I guess as long as you enjoy it, I don't know.
Or This Is the Voice. This is my weekly cry sessions. I have to have them. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Mando.
Yeah, I think it's time to talk about Season 3 of The Mandalorian. If you're ready, of course.
Let's hit it. Box office breakdown.
Box office breakdown of it.
Just kidding.
Oh, no. I'm out of practice. I didn't even catch it. It's been 3 weeks since you recorded. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. No, I knew what you were doing. I was playing along. Mandalorian Season 3 is streaming exclusively on Disney Plus in 4K for, $8 a month now? Interesting value proposition there, isn't it? It's created, as the other 2 seasons were, by Jon Favreau, a.k.a. Johnny V. Stars Pedro Pascal and Katie Sackhoff, and co-stars Emily Swallow, Carl Weathers, Katie M. O'Brien, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, Simon Castanedis, Mercedes Varnado, and Tate Fletcher. In Season 3, the Mandalorian travels to Mandalore to redeem his past transgressions with the aid of one Grogu and fellow Mandalorian Bo-Katan Kryze. So let's talk some non-spoilers for the 8 episodes of Season 3 of The Mandalorian that we got. And I think maybe the first thing, thought that we should say is, I think we're big fans of the first 2 seasons. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
I think they were probably both very yes TV shows in terms of our recommendation scale. I think we had a lot of fun with those. The first season was obviously kind of the first real Star Wars TV show that we've had. Now we've had several.
That's it, yeah. And it did an excellent job of feeling like Star Wars, Yeah. No, the tone and feel of Season 1 was really good. The pacing of Season 1 is where it kind of fell short, I think, because especially like in those middle episodes.
Very episodic.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And I think Season 2 felt a little bit more building to something, and got a little bit more fan servicey in certain ways. You got a Boba Fett, you got a fucking Luke Skywalker kind of shit, like Season 2 kind of escalated it, I think, in terms of, like how Star Wars-y some shit got, whereas Season 1 was fairly standalone with a lot of, newly introduced characters and giving you kind of built-in nostalgia of the cuteness of a Baby Yoda, in Grogu. But Season 3, what do you, now that we've had Seasons 1 and 2, Season 3, taking it to Mandalore, you get some new settings, maybe a couple new characters.
So I think...
it's established at this point.
It is, yes. So here we are. We find ourselves at Season 3. And I think that Season 3 of The Mandalorian... Season 1 established the baseline. Season 2, it peaked. Okay, Season 3...
think 2 is better than 1? Is that your kind of...
I think 2 is better than 1. I really enjoyed 2. And then Season 3 is below the baseline. So you can picture it kind of like a heartbeat. Doom, doom. Okay. Right? Kind of that's my the deal. I think that this. I think that the pacing. I think that if you take the worst, it's this season for me is the culmination of the worst aspects from Season 1 and 2. It still had highs, right? Particularly the penultimate episode and the finale. I think that those, at least the penultimate episode was awesome. But you had a lot of pacing issues, specifically in the middle, characteristic of Season 1, and then you have Season 2, or you have a lot of fanfare in here. Mm-hmm. That did not land as awesome as it did in Season 2, right? So, like, you still have callbacks and everything, which is it's a lot of fun. I like seeing it, don't get me wrong. But it was nothing like that Luke Skywalker reveal.
Right.
Or, and stuff like that. So, it missed the high points of Season 2 while attempting to do the same thing. And it had the pacing issues of Season 1, which led to overall just a sloppy season, in my opinion. I think it was a sloppy season for Mando. Still enjoyed it. I don't want to sound like I did not enjoy it. I tuned in every single week to watch it, and I enjoyed what I watched, even when it was bad. But it felt like I kind of just enjoyed it because it was a Star Wars adventure. Almost. I don't think it ever hit Boba Fett lows.
Okay.
But I think it... I don't know. Watch out, Boba Fett. Here comes the Mando. I think Boba... Mm-hmm. I think he's coming close. And so that's kind of my opinion about Season 3 of the Mando. I think that it was just... I don't know. Just kind of... Felt kind of slow. There's high points in there, but largely it felt like largely disappointing.
Okay. Yeah. I think.
What are your opinions? You've seen it more recently, so maybe you have higher opinions.
Yes, I did finish watching it before we left because I knew I would get the shit spoiled if we didn't watch it before we left on our trip. So I think flew out on a Wednesday and we watched it like, I guess the Wednesday that it came out, we watched it the morning that it came out. So it was quite literally the only episode in the season that we like watched on time that weren't like half spoiled on was the finale, which was nice, I will say. But my general thoughts, before I really, I guess, get into my thoughts on this season in particular, I think the toughest thing for The Mandalorian is that this is the first TV show that you're getting after Andor.
Oh, that's a very valid point. Yeah, I never thought about that.
You know, if this came after Book of Boba Fett, it's definitely better than the Book of Boba Fett, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
and I will say this: I have not finished Andor just yet. I think I still have 3 episodes to go. But the quality of the production values on Andor, the quality of the writing, the quality of the acting, just
it's not the same. It's not
everything put into
ballpark.
that show is like top tier shit. And this is a step down, and it feels and looks like a step down from Andor. You know, coming from Andor directly to this, the seams are more noticeable, and the way that they weren't jumping from seasons 1 of Mandalorian to season 2 of Mandalorian to Boba Fett, like, you know, those were all in the same kind of ballpark in terms of the production values, etc. Whereas Andor just represents almost just something elevated, and so I think that hurts The Mandalorian by comparison in some ways. I will say they're very different shows, trying to do very, very different things.
Yeah.
You know, and I think trying to appeal to somewhat different audiences. So it's not to say that one is successful and one is not. It's just that I think one is really, really successful and the other one is mostly successful. And the mostly successful, I think one is The Mandalorian, but I do think that it pales in comparison in some ways. Where, you know, in the same way that, I guess Kenobi was in there. This is closer to a Kenobi, I think, in terms of quality.
That's fair.
I think it's above a Boba Fett. It's maybe below seasons 1 and 2 of Mandalorian overall. But in the ways that I enjoyed Kenobi, where it was a little sloppy and a little bit messy, this is kind of the same way. I think I'd probably put it a hair above Kenobi, because I think whereas those had the goofy ass Inquisitors, this doesn't really have anything quite like that for me.
Also didn't have scooter boys.
Yeah, right. You're right. Exactly. You know, shit like that from Boba Fett. Like, it didn't have the
Boba Fett,
lowest.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
but it didn't have the lowest aspects of those other Disney Plus shows that have the same type of volume-y production values. You know.
Yeah.
So yes, it doesn't have the high highs of an Andor, but it doesn't have the low lows of the non
Boba. Yeah.
You know, the non Mando stuff that we've seen. And it kind of solidly fits into that mid tier, which is to say, it's pretty enjoyable. It's pretty fun. I like it a lot. I have fun with it, but it is at the end of the day kind of disposable. Disposable entertainment, which for Star Wars is better than some others. You know, like Star Wars it's a real mixed bag sometimes. You get stuff that's really good and, you know, is incredible, and you get stuff that's really bad. And you get stuff that's just kind of somewhere in the middle, and that's where this operates, and that's okay. It's the True Detective season 3 of
never
TV
hit that
shows.
low.
Season 3, where it's between season 2 and season 1. It's operating in this vast expanse of like, well, this is piece of dog shit and this is incredible television. It's like somewhere in between. It's like, okay, so it exists. Like, that's all you're telling me. That's kind of where like Mandalorian season 3 operates, is like in that sort of vast nebulous space of just something that exists. But I think it's enjoyable, and I think that the things that carry it are the things that have always carried it, which are the Mandalorian is a cool fucking character, and he's always doing cool shit. Grogu is adorable, and, you know, seeing Grogu do Force things is fucking badass, and I love every time it happens.
Yeah, it's so cool.
You know, it's just good shit. And, you know, the general cast of characters is they're pretty flimsy. They're not there that often, but they're nice. It's nice to see a Carl Weathers. It's nice to see the armor, you know, and especially, you know, she's like fucking using her hammer and beating the shit out of people. And it's like, that's cool. Yeah, you know, like that's okay. Yeah. That's okay to just, but like, that's the level of kind of like depth that you get with this. Is just like, it's a fun and enjoyable romp with fun, enjoyable characters, doing rompy things, going to different settings and stuff like that. And there are some moments that are like, some like good holy shit kind of moments, but I agree with you, not hitting the heights of Luke Skywalker coming in an X-Wing and, just fucking running through, the super battle droids or whatever the hell those things were, it was the Dark Troopers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Moff Gideon's Dark Troopers. Nothing quite hits that level of hype.
And as I'm sitting here looking through the episode titles and stuff, nothing. The season as a whole kind of feels like it kind of feels like a pedestal to something more.
I think I agree, and I think it had a tough position where season 2 ended with this handoff of Grogu's going to be trained by Luke, and then they kind of just reset that whole storyline within Boba Fett, where you had an episode of The Mandalorian, you had episode 2, season 2.5 of The Mandalorian within Boba Fett, and it was better than the rest of the Boba Fett show, but it also basically served the purpose of having Grogu be reunited with the Mando, and it's like, so then when you come to season 3, it's like, well, what's the point of it anymore? He's fulfilled his quest, he's delivered Grogu, and it's like, well, what next? And the next thing is, I guess I'm just going to do Mandalorian shit. And so in a way, it is kind of reverting, like you said, back to the season 1 kind of episodic nature of, I'm doing this one episode, and then the next episode, I'm doing something else, and then the next episode after that, kind of doing something else. And it's all kind of just in service of this general, I don't know, let's retake Mandalore kind of deal, which is kind of cool, and it's neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's pretty cool. And I do think that I agree with you. By the time you get to the penultimate, you get to the finale, it's pretty fucking hype. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
but it's 8 hours of getting there, and it's kind of just I'm having fun with this. But if you asked me a question about this 2 days after I watched it,
I don't know what the fuck happened.
I couldn't tell you anything. I could tell you the celebrity cameo that, was in an episode or some shit.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? I could describe it in kind of things like that, or here was a big moment in it. But the moment-to-moment stuff is just kind of lost on you, I think, after an initial watch, which is, again, to say that it's good, but not... It's not the type of shit that Andor delivered. We've seen the goods with Star Wars now. And as much fun as this is, as good as this is, at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's good fun. It's good fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's okay. It's okay for it to not be amazing, right? It's okay for it to not be amazing, but at the same time, all right.
And maybe that's what we got. You want because we want we just came from Andor. But maybe it's because we want, instead of having the spaghetti Western Star Wars guy, we've become very fond of the Mandalorian and Grogu and how his adventures connect the galaxy in larger, bigger ways, and we're just real excited about it. Whenever we have a singular one-off episode, it's no longer that's not what I want right now. What I want is I want him taking Mandalore. Or I want him doing, some references happened before, or training Yoda, or not Yoda, but Grogu, or just these larger things that perpetuate the story of these two characters forward. And instead we have him saving a youngling from a pterodactyl monster. Which is great for a spaghetti Western thing.
Yeah.
But 23 episodes in, or not 23 episodes in, 19 episodes in, or whatever, into the overall arc for these characters, I'm beyond the spaghetti Western. That was cool in the beginning to try to test the waters, but now I just want a serialized story of these characters doing something.
Yeah, I agree. This feels more Clone Wars, in that it's just kind of one-off deals, and then you maybe get a 2 or 3 episode arc that's a little bit more intense, a little bit more involved, but it's not. Yeah, I agree. And there's nothing wrong with a pseudo bottle episode here and there, but it feels like a lot of those. It's like a collection of them, and it's again enjoyable, but not. But it's not. Yeah, it's not the satisfying kind of thing that we've had in the past with Mando that we've seen with Andor, and I think that's the thing with Andor too is you have these kind of pods of episodes of totally different settings.
Right.
You got a heist thing, you got a prison thing, you've got the first bit, the vault which was all set up kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They all felt very distinct from each other. but they were all interesting and built to something, but by the end. And this does build to something by the end, but it kind of just fumbles around for a bit before it just is like, okay, it's episodes 6, 7, 8, we got to step on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of thing is how this one works. And I think it just makes for awkward pacing. And the way that, like, when that first season was just like, we don't know anything about this guy. He's just like building up his armor and just traveling the world. And, he kind of, adopts this quest when he finds Grogu. But like here, what's the point of any of this is kind of, I think a question that gets asked for a little bit, and then there's diversions even once you have the answer to that question. And then by the time you get to the resolution of all of it, it's like, okay, that was pretty fucking cool. But it does kind of feel like that was 8 episodes. Like, what do we do with all that time?
Exactly.
I think it's roughly 4 episodes worth of cool shit covered in 8 episodes, kind of thing.
I would agree wholeheartly.
It doesn't even feel to me. I feel like it's stretched. It just kind of feels like they just padded it with other shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't. Yeah, it's just kind of wonky pacing wise. But
and like I said before we started recording on it, I think it's probably the most forgettable season of Mandalorian. Like, I mean, I know episodes 7 and 8. I know the episode where they I would say I know 3 to 4 episodes. Like you said, I think there's 4 episodes where cool shit happened, and those are the episodes I remember.
Yeah, those are the episodes that stand out that probably were in service of building to the big thing at the end kind of deal. And it's like, okay, the rest is like,
I would have just taken a 4-episode miniseries.
Yeah,
make them little movies.
And I almost I almost wonder, like, we loved the Mando episode and a half or whatever of Boba Fett was like the best part of that show, and it's like almost because it's like, well, they didn't have to pad it out with a bunch of bullshit around it, And I'm not saying that this is bullshit, you know what I mean? But it is kind of just like, well, the other ones were 8 episodes. You need 8 episodes for this one. I guess he's
fill in the gaps. Yeah,
gonna go to this planet for an episode, and we'll see what shenanigans happen, kind of deal. That sort of thing. So I don't know. It makes for a little wonky pacing, but I agree overall. And I guess this is might as well just transition into recommendation at this point. It's the weakest season of The Mandalorian, I think, thus far. But at the same time, it's still The Mandalorian. It's still fundamentally The Mandalorian. And I think that in the way that all of The Mandalorian, like, if it's a show that you've enjoyed to this point, I know I saw a lot of backlash about this online. I'm like, I don't know. I still enjoyed it week to week. I just think it's one of those things that when I look back on it more so than anything, it's just not as memorable. It's not as it just doesn't have as much oomph as even seasons 1 or 2 did in terms of just kind of the impact, the level of impact that it had on me personally. So I don't regret spending my time with it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's well made. I think everyone's kind of going
Star
for it with
Wars
it.
at the end of the day.
It's good Star Wars content, which we've seen we've seen bad Star Wars content, and this is a far cry from that. It's just not the best we've ever seen. It's not the best we've seen from this particular show. And what a time to be alive where we can be
snobby about the quality of our Star Wars content.
Well, we're being snobby, but at the same time, like, it's still pretty fucking good. Like, I had a good time.
That's what I'm saying. It's Star Wars. I'm so happy that it's being made. Thank you. I'll take more.
Yeah, and
I watched all of Boba
fairly
Fett.
Rewatchable. It's way better than Boba Fett.
Way better than Boba Fett. Yes.
So I don't know. So anyway, I think in terms of recommendation, with the TV scale of top tier being very yes, middle ground at totally fine, and shithouse, I think for me this lands at about a yes. I think if we're saying that seasons 1 and 2 are very yes, I think this has to kind of necessarily be a little bit of a step down.
That's right.
But I think it's more than a totally fine. Like, there's enough. Those 4 episodes of like really good shit are good enough. There's 4 very yes episodes, and then another smattering of a few yes episodes and a few totally fine episodes, and it all kind of balances out to me to being around a yes kind of show. Not the best, not the amazing, not the very yes that you might consider the Mando season 1 and 2 or Andor to be, but it's still very good Star Wars at the end of the day. And despite our qualms, and we'll get into those more in spoilers, I'm sure, I had fun with it. It's a yes show for me. So that's where I stand.
Oh, yeah, no, it's perfect. Yes. Well, I mean, the show's not perfect, but yes. Yes show.
Yes is what you're saying.
That's exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's stop dancing around things and talk about
I couldn't
spoilers.
say another word because I thought I was going to just say yeah again.
Yeah. Full spoilers for The Mandalorian season 3. Now we can stop talking in circles and talking around things. There were some episodes in this I think you might have alluded to either before or while we were recording that did not measure up to the usual Mandalorian standard for you. Is that fair to say? Were there
yeah, that's totally fair. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what are you thinking? What episodes did not do anything for you?
Okay, so we're just going to start off we're going to start off with the probably the most egregious one that I think everybody's probably on the same page on while I review what I watched on the Wikipedia because I kind of
I'm doing the same thing. Don't worry.
I kind of forgot about the fucking
this one. Like okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the most egregious of all the episodes is the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo.
And Lizzo and Christopher Lloyd.
The
celebrity cameo episode, which takes place on some goofy fucking planet and shit.
Like we could have had the entire the important part, the story driving thing that happened at that episode is the end, where Bo-Katan takes control of the of Wolfram Alpha or whatever the fuck his name is, takes control of all the other
what a deep cut.
Takes control of all those people, of all those Mandos, because they're out there doing their own thing. They're privateering. That was the important thing. You could have put that.
It is a very Star Wars sounding name. I can't blame you.
You could have put the end of that shit on any other episode, and it would have been totally fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need
30 to 40 minutes that preceded it was like
chasing droids through the city. Whatever. What are you doing? And then Christopher Lloyd's like, I did it.
The battle droid looked bad. I don't know why.
It did look bad. It was CG'd very bad. They're not supposed to move like that. They're supposed to be big, clunky pieces of shit.
Yeah, it didn't look right. It looked like a person running. I'm like, obviously the droids are very anthropomorphic and such, but like, it just looked like a dude running that they, glued a battle droid CG model
it didn't look
over.
Right. No, it's fucked up looking.
It's kind of fucked up looking, yeah. Jack Black is awesome. We talked about him in Mario. Jack Black is awesome. Lizzo is awesome.
Christopher Lloyd is fucking awesome. It's not the fact that there were. It's not 100. Okay, I feel like I have to defend it a little bit. It's not the point that there's like celebrity cameos.
No, I think that's the point I'm making. Is like, it's fun having them here, but
the episode was useless.
I wish that they were given something more or better.
Yeah, of course.
And this was very much a disposable setting, disposable plot, like a real just kind of whole episode, where we're now at episode. Yeah, this one's episode 6. Jesus, I didn't realize it was that late in the season. Like this is a real kind of nothing sort of episode, like pretty far into the fucking season. Like if this is an episode 2 or 3, I think that makes more sense. You know what I mean? In terms of just the pacing, where it's like, early season, you're not really totally building to the big point yet. Like if something like this kind of takes place right after he reconnects with Bo-Katan or something like that, I think that it could work. And like you said, you staple the literal bit of Bo-Katan, getting the Darksaber, and having control over
even the beginning of
Wolfram Alpha and his Mandalorians, okay, that could work. But
his name is definitely something like that, right?
Axe Woves, I think is
I
believe who you're referring to. but I will accept Wolfram Alpha in the way that I accept Johnny V as canon as well. So
yeah, we got another one. That's awesome. It's good.
It's incredible. But yes, I just think it's placement of the season. And I think it's all kind of goofy in and of itself and not great. I think anywhere you place it as is wouldn't be very good. But I do think that its placement almost makes it worse by comparison, because it's just like, what are we doing here? I think is kind of, the question that you kind of ask yourself. And it does end on a hype moment, and like it kind of feeds right into episodes 7 and 8 being fucking cool as shit, with Bo-Katan kind of leading the charge to retake Mandalore, and like that's really fucking neat and cool and whatnot. But yeah, this episode itself is kind of just like, it to me feels like a mediocre like a Clone Wars episode,
and
in terms of the level of goofiness.
I think that's the most egregious episode.
Yeah.
Episode 1 opens up really cool. I had the ship pumped up. I was pumped up. It's the first, I get home from work. I'm hyped. I got a bottle of wine. I'm going to watch some fucking Mandalorian. And I turn it way up, and Sarah's kind of bitching a little bit because it's too loud. I'm like, oh, it's a fucking Mando. We got to listen to it real loud.
Gotta make sure that Baby B can hear all the dialogue.
Exactly, yes. And they had that sequence where that ship flies over the city. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's been like painted. And
yes.
That was totally awesome. And it's super loud, and it was very cool. The rest of the episode was just kind of like, okay, whatever. But that one sequence was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So that's a memorable moment in the first episode. You got the second episode, which is, he goes to Mandalore.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I mean, I liked that they spent as much time on Mandalore as they did. I think, the whole thing of bathing in the living waters kind of thing is cool. Oh, this is the one with like the cyborg thing with the fucking eyeball shit.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on there. It was kind of weird, but I liked it. I liked that thing.
This felt like the best of the Clone Wars episode. Like it felt like a very high quality Clone Wars episode.
Yeah, but this is the kind of thing where I'm like, this could have been later in the season, kind of building to, I don't know, like I almost just feel like the events could be a little reordered to fix some of the pacing. Because it's like, oh shit, you're on Mandalore in episode 2, but then you're kind of away from Mandalore for a bit, and then you're doing other shit, and then you're going to fucking Lizzo and Jack Black Planet for a minute. It's like, okay, but is there a way to maybe restructure this that's a little bit more narratively satisfying? Maybe. I don't know.
Right, because you had this awesome episode, and then you go to the next episode, and...
Well, the next episode is the one that's like completely fucking detached from everything, right? It's following the scientist guy. Yeah. So this is the one that's Dr. Pershing. It's the people that were part of the Empire that have been pardoned, or they're doing the Operation Paperclip kind of thing, where now they're working for the New Republic.
Right.
They've been kind of, I don't know. Indoctrinated into saying the Empire was real bad. You shouldn't be a Nazi anymore. You should go do stuff for us, kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be Nazi. That is bad. And you should work for the New Republic. They've probably got some decent ideas. Maybe they could use the help, etc. But yeah, this is like a big, like almost hour-long episode that's like totally kind of outside of the confines of anything, where there's very minimal Mando in this. It's kind of just this fake friendship that gets built between Dr. Pershing and like this officer who we saw in like one episode last season who worked for Moff Gideon, I think. And I don't think this is a bad episode. I think like the Coruscant stuff is interesting. It's kind of neat, and I kind of liked the idea of what they were doing here. But it's like 50 minutes of this, and it's kind of just like, huh. Okay.
Well, I think the worst part about this, and I think, I mean, whenever you said that, this is coming right after Andor, maybe that's a problem.
It's kind of go ahead.
It's Andor-esque, right? Like you have this.
It's Andor kind of shit, but still not as good.
even if it was like less good and it had kind of a bigger payoff, that'd be okay. But we have where you get exposed to these new characters, and then you have like the entirety of the episode exploring these characters, and it kind of just peters out after, like, I think after this episode, right?
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot other than the woman, who befriends the doctor. Like, I mean, maybe I just read it fully correctly, but she seemed fucking shady the whole time, and
totally. She was definitely shady the whole time.
To me, it didn't really feel like it was like a big surprise that like, oh my God, she betrayed him. Like, who could have seen this coming? And like, I don't know that it was really played for that, but it was kind of just like, well, we spent a lot of fucking time building this up, and I was like, am I supposed to be surprised by this? And then beyond this episode, yeah, it's kind of just like, oh yeah, she's bad and she's in league with Moff Gideon. It's like, okay,
we just rewrote this whole fucking thing, right? Like, we didn't need to spend all episode long on this.
Yeah, it kind of, and almost the things I liked about it, like, I think are kind of the lore sort of aspects of like, here's what the New Republic is doing, and it kind of, in some ways, I feel like some of what this is doing is like it's the building blocks of how the New Republic is kind of fucking up in the same way that led to the Jedi's downfall. Obviously, we know the New Republic is basically going to let the First Order rise up and basically eradicate them, blow up their fucking, systems and shit, to the point where we get back to a rebellion versus empire type of status quo in the sequel trilogy. And to me, this is kind of showing that like, the New Republic is kind of, they're doing some dumb shit.
It's kind of like, their head up their
and
ass
I think that this kind of shows that a little bit. It's like, yes, let's house all of the former Imperials in one block, next to each other, and let them openly congregate and talk about each other. And the only like check that we have on them is this fucking therapy robot that they talk to, and is like, are you still harboring nice thoughts about the Empire? No. Very good. Proceed. It's like, okay, like, is the point of this is like the New Republic are a bunch of fucking dummies? Which I think is, again, I think that's kind of the idea, is like showing that like, it's a nice idea that the rebellion had, and obviously toppling the Empire because they're a bunch of fucking Nazis, but didn't really know what to do. What they didn't like, once they did the hard step, part, right, they didn't know what the hell to do. And so they kind of were just like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. And so it's all kind of just messy from that point.
Age-old tale, man.
That's interesting. That's interesting stuff. It's not interesting as basically 90% of an episode within the 8 episodes that we get in this. And it's like,
because it's not touched. That's not the story they're telling.
This feels like a book. This feels like a book that could have been told. Like this to me feels like a novel, that it's like interesting, provides really unique insight for people that really like Star Wars and actually care enough to read Star Wars books, which is probably not most people. But I didn't need a whole episode of this. And I don't think it's bad. And you're right, in the Andor comparison where it's kind of doing similar things, but like Andor does it better.
Yeah,
just let Andor do it. We're getting 2 seasons of Andor.
That's because Andor is the show for this, right? I mean, I guess it's not because it's totally different time period, but you could.
But that's not what the Mando is either.
This is not the Mando, exactly.
It's not what the Mando has been, and I don't mind them breaking from the formula, etc. But I don't know. I don't think it was a totally successful experiment either. So
I don't need a whole episode dwelling on it. I mean, I guess the implications that this episode's supposed to set is Moff Gideon's still in the fucking fold.
Yeah, which like,
I think we knew that at the end of the other one, didn't we?
What's that?
Did we know that at the end of season 2?
I think we just knew that he was captured. Like we knew that he wasn't killed, and then obviously we learned kind of throughout the season that the New Republic lost custody of him because he got broken out. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and then what do you know? He's the big bad Darth Vader wannabe at the end. Like Moff Gideon is still around. He's still bad. News at 11. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So moving on, episode 4 is kind of where this one was kind of let's get some good stuff in here. We get the flashback, the Jedi Temple flashback.
With fucking
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks
is back. Jedi Master Jar Jar Binks, but not actually. Ahmed Best got a nice role here as Jedi Master Kelleran Beck, which I think that was really fucking cool. I'm happy to see him get to do something that's not Jar Jar. Obviously, the man's been through the ringer in his life because of the vitriol that has been spewed at him because of Jar Jar. But I thought that was really neat. That was cool stuff. But I think this is the one where the kid gets picked up by the dinosaur and they have to go rescue him, right? Isn't that? I think that's this one.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So we get exposed to this guy saving little Grogu.
Right.
We get the pterodactyl monster stealing the kid. Kid's total dick too, just like his dad. Which is a whole nother thing.
Runs in Clan Vizsla, apparently.
Runs in Clan Vizsla, exactly.
I don't know though. Paz, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but Paz earns his keep by was it episode 7? Is where he gets the minigun moment. Fucking goes to
the
town.
thing. It's not. Yeah, Paz Vizsla is a dick. But Paz Vizsla is. I don't know. He's kind of. I'm trying to think of an apt comparison. Paz Vizsla is kind of like your just old school redneck grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a dick. Like you don't want to. Don't ask him about this or that because he's just an asshole.
Yeah.
But if you need help with something, he'll tell you how to do it, or he'll do this or that for you. You know what I mean?
Generally unpleasant to deal with, but sometimes helpful.
Exactly right. And so, like we've developed this relationship with him for what 3 seasons now, and
he's been around since season 1. Yeah.
And by the end of it, I guess in this episode we find out he has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And
Paz Vizsla fucks confirmed.
Yep, exactly. And with the helmet
on or with the helmet off?
The helmet on, and
this is
by the end of it, it's that by the end of that episode, or at the end of we're jumping ahead again, but man, when he goes down hard.
I mean, we're jumping ahead, but we've already talked about episode 6, so we can safely jump past that. Episode 5 is the pirate one, where the pirates come and fucking destroy the city, and then they have to protect the city kind of deal, that was a cool one, but again, kind of a side diversion kind of deal.
I misread episode 1?
I don't know. I think the pirates are established in episode 1, and then they circle back around because Mando has that standoff with them. When he and Karga kill a bunch of them and say the one,
right.
Go home to your pappy and cry bitch or whatever, whatever they say, something like that. I think that's exact dialogue if I'm not mistaken. Just quoting Johnny V here, of course, but yeah, I think 5 is like the full on pirate one where they have kind of the full confrontation. I guess you mentioned the moment of the ship overhead. You're talking about like the big fucking Mando ship with the Mando symbol emblazed on it. Yeah, I think that might have been 5 then.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Or it might have been 7. I don't even fucking. Who cares?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it all some of it kind of blends together, to be honest. So anyway, the pirate thing was fun. It was cool. But I think, again, maybe I'm jumping ahead. But I think 7 and 8 are kind of where it finally reaches the point, and brings it all home. And I think it does it very effectively.
Yes, chapter 23, The Spies.
The Spies, chapter 24, The Return. Yeah, The Spies is fucking cool because you're getting like, you're sowing the seeds of Thrawn, sowing the seeds of the First Order. There's like a Hux's daddy, we see him, and like you have this whole kind of Shadow Council bullshit, which was fucking cool. Again, feels like a lore-y kind of thing that we haven't gotten too much of from the Mandalorian.
Kind of,
but this feels like it's building towards like Ahsoka, building towards that Dave Filoni movie that we know is coming down the pipeline as well. It's bringing all of this shit together. Like this feels like it's really sowing the seeds for what is the threat moving forward, right? Like what's the big deal? Because I think this season, and maybe we'll see if everyone's a clone or whatever kind of deal. I think this might be the closing the door on Moff Gideon as the villain, and heralding the arrival of Grand Admiral Thrawn as kind of the real threat. To
Thrawn Radu or whatever. Yeah.
Which is fine with me. I think we've had a few seasons of Gideon being an asshole. He kind of turns into full-on Vader wannabe with his Mandalorian armor shit, and wielding, I guess, does he have the Darksaber at one point? I think he does. Okay. We kind of got what we needed out of him, I think. And if he burnt to a crispy crisp, then that's just fine, unless it was a clone and, and we can retcon and, until the sun comes up or whatever. But yeah, beyond that.
Praetorian guards, dude. They're
Praetorian guards. They're yeah. Like, again, if this is where it feels like, all right, we're building to, Thrawn and stuff, but also really kind of bridging the gap between your original trilogy era, where you had, stormtroopers, in season 1 is kind of like the lingering remnants of the Empire. Now we're fucking talking Praetorian guards, like full on sequel trilogy kind of shit. We also got a bunch of Babu Fricks, who build who build fucking armor for Grogu, which was badass. They take IG-11 and turn him into a battle suit. Yes. No. Yeah. I thought that was incredible. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was very good. That was very good.
Very funny. But yeah, this is like shit finally hitting the crescendo. It's kind of just been a lot of, all right, some cool things happening, bubbling under the surface. Oh, the shit, there's a mythosaur quite literally under the in the water kind of thing in Mandalore, and like, what does it all mean? Bo-Katan, I love you. You're the best. I stand you, Bo-Katan. Here's the Darksaber. Like, lead our way. Wolfram Alpha, use his talents as well. But 7 and 8 is like 7 and 8. Yeah, that motherfucker flew his jetpack through
all the way into space.
That shit had infinite fuel, and that's okay. It was fucking.
I thought
cool.
The same thing too.
It was the rule of cool.
They were trying to. When they were chasing the kids down in the desert, they were all running out of gas and shit. Not Wolfram. Wolfram did some calculations and shit, and fucking went all the way to space.
Yeah, he's got some sort of special fuel in his jetpack. He's not sharing with the rest of the group. He just
didn't stop. It was hilarious because they cut away from him for like an entire, I don't know, was it a whole episode or like 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Hours later, he's just Supermaning up through the atmosphere.
He just keeps going. Yeah, I thought that was funny too. I laughed about that.
I didn't mind it. I think it's a little silly, but it was also cool, so it was fine.
Also, there's that mythosaur doesn't do shit. Like, I thought for sure that it would come back in some way.
It's red herring, or there's another cinematic device. I think it's going to have significance at some point. Just maybe not in this season. Make your
someone's filler episodes or your Clone Wars episodes or whatever you want to call them. Make them that epic stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't talk about nanobots on some dome planet or some shit. No, don't do that. Make it about the fucking mythosaur. You just established a goddamn mythosaur. Do something with it. Anyways, those Praetorian guards show up in that penultimate penultimate episode and take down Viz, and it was those guards don't play.
Indeed.
They also undo because they take the Mando, they take them,
right? Yeah.
And I think the worst part about the next episode or the finale is the fact that the threat level of all that was just kind of undone in the very beginning. Like, they took them. All right, I've escaped. And it's all right. I guess you escaped. You're better than these other guys, I guess. But at the same time, at the end of that other episode, I was really worried. It's like, oh man, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And that was completely undone within the first 10, 15 minutes or whatever. So
classic TV thing of cliffhanger for a week, and then it's like, everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Episode was pretty good though.
Yeah, no, these last 2 episodes of the season really, a lot of action, cool shit kind of thing. but I think effective episodes and really really cool kind of sequences I think throughout, and good kind of like holy shit moments. Yeah, not Luke Skywalker levels of holy shit, but like the fight with the Praetorian Guard. Anytime the Praetorian Guards are like engaged in combat, like it's fucking interesting. It's cool to watch. There's big holy shit moments of like the Darksaber, which is like this big fucking big deal. It's been kind of this thing throughout the entire series to this point. Destroyed. What does that mean? It's just kind of interesting kind of things that happen.
They reclaim Mandalore though, and the furnace or the forge. The forge is reignited.
Forge,
that was so
fucking cool. Yeah, and you got like this. I forget exactly how it pops off. Wolfram Alpha takes the ship and fucking
crashes it,
flies
in the
it
hole.
straight down in. In the last second he uses
crazy.
what fuel is left to get out of there, and it's like you have a jetpack, you can leave anytime you want. Like once you started on a downward course, like you can get out of there.
That's where it's going. What are you doing?
But he just waited a while. He didn't have enough. If he started from atmosphere, he would have run out of fuel on the way down and just like
That's it.
Just
That's exactly what it is.
Would have collided with the planet and, just gone to the planet core. He was going so fast, but he had to wait until he was a little lower to use the left fuel reserve.
Boost out.
But yeah, that big fucking explosion, you got Grogu doing like a fucking force bubble shit, protecting his mommy and daddy, was some pretty badass shit. Again, Moff Gideon seems like he got fucking incinerated, but who knows, because he had clones and shit going on. So
if they didn't incinerate him, Thrawn would have, especially for talking that shit.
But again, I think I'm ready to be done.
Thrawn's a total bitch. What's he doing? He's not doing anything. Give me all your shit.
Yeah. Thrawn comes back and says, "Actually, fuck you. You're dead." I like Moff Gideon.
Wait.
I think he's been a good threat. I think it's okay for this to be the end of Moff Gideon, like once and for all. Let's turn the page.
I agree.
It's time for Thrawn or someone else, even if it's not Thrawn just yet. Thrawn's second-hand man or whatever, right-hand man. Like, okay, I think we're at that point now where we can turn the page. And it does seem like the way that this season ended, no mid or post-credit scene, like, setting up the next threat, the next big thing. It's kind of just Din Djarin and Din Grogu, his now adopted son. Very, very tender, sweet moment. They're just like we're gonna do contract work and we're just gonna be chilling for now. We're just having a good time. And until I'm gonna take Grogu on Mandalorian adventures and it's gonna be that. And I think it ended on a really nice kind of sweet moment between them two, where it felt quieter and it felt almost series finale-esque, which obviously we know that there's plenty more to come with these characters, but it did kind of feel like a nice resolution where they just were able to kind of enjoy a moment of peace without having the Marvel kind of style of post-credits and being like, oh, and just wait. Like, we did get the Thrawn set up a little bit. We know that it's coming. We know we're going to see more with it, Ahsoka. It was still nice to kind of have that moment of solitude, I think, for those two at the end, where it's just like, that's nice.
So how you end that?
Yeah.
Beginning season 4, like Thrawn flies in and just from atmosphere, just bombards the shit out of that old town.
Yeah. Pirates already did a little bit of damage. Thrawn's got to finish the job.
And you contrast the difference between pirates and what he is. You know what I mean? Just atmosphere, just annihilate all of it. And little Grogu and Din Djarin's all fucked up. Beginning episode 1, all fucked up. And that's how your season starts.
Yeah.
You hear me, Johnny V? I need paychecks. I need paychecks, and I'm coming. I'm coming to help write Star Wars. And maybe not write it, just give you ideas. I'd take
ideas. Yeah, you take it and then you put it on the page from there. Yeah,
exactly. Collaboration.
So that's season 3 of The Mandalorian. Any other thoughts for you?
No, Star Wars, man, it's great.
It's good Star Wars. Some good moments in it. Some uneven moments in it, but at the end of the day, we had fun with it.
And I still love that armor, man. What's this lady's name? Swallow?
The armorer. Yeah, Emily Swallow, yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's cool. And I didn't say it really. Bo-Katan's basically like the co-lead in this season, and I liked that. I thought that she was really good.
I thought that was great. Yeah, totally.
I think it was nice to kind of have her as a kind of equal to the Mando, because the Mando's aspirations, which I think are really served by that finale, are like, I just want to hang out with my kid and do Mandalorian shit. I don't need to lead Mandalore. I don't need the Darksaber. I clearly don't know how to use this fucking thing because I look like a doofus every time I swing it. I liked that. I like the idea, like Bo-Katan's kind of the royalty. It makes sense for her to kind of have the aspirations at some point to try to unite these different clans of Mandalorians and bring it all together and, retake Mandalore and kind of restart the Great Forge and, and basically rebuild Mandalore. Like that's some cool fucking shit.
It is very cool stuff.
Having Bo-Katan be the one to kind of lead that charge. Cool, obviously she's a Clone Wars Rebels character, but I think just a good, faithful realization of the character from animation to live action that's really stuck the landing. That, to me, it didn't feel like shoehorned that she took on such a major prominence in this season. I really, really liked it. I don't think she'll have the same level of prominence in future seasons, but I think as this kind of being like the Bo-Katan season of Mandalorian, like where she's involved, I think this season is very good.
Well, I think when anybody deals with Mandalore now, they're dealing with her.
Right. Yep. And Wolfram.
And Wolfram, yeah. Wolfram Alpha, yeah. Watch out.
That's right. hell of a combo right there. So yeah, I think that does it for me on the Mandalorian front. Well, here we are, nearly 2 hours in, and we have yet to cover everything that I hoped we would be able to cover before we started recording. My thought process was, let's do one big episode as our grand return. Let's talk all of the news that we can. Let's do as much content as we can, aka let's talk about some fucking Mando. And then let's do all of the catching up, talking about the Europe trip, anything Andrew's been up to, etc. But here we are. We've done the classic watch, review, repeat thing of talking for too damn long. And now that I think about it, it's fucking Star Wars. Of course we were going to talk about it for a long time. Maybe I didn't account for Max and all of that bullshit taking up as much time as it did, but this is who we are. This is, for better or for worse, this is who we are. And so, in the interest of not prolonging this episode out to 3 to 4 hours long and getting into a full exhaustive deep dive on everything that we've been up to right now, what we're going to do is stop right here. And then we will come back next episode and talk about all of those things. We're going to talk Europe, everything Anna and I were up to, and everything Andrew was up to while we were out of the country. And it'll be a special episode, similar to the 3 that we did last year when we took our Puerto Rico trip. Everyone got married. We did some fun special episodes, kind of a little sliver of our personal lives, taking a break from covering a movie or a TV show, something like that. And we'll have Anna join us as well. So it'll be a fun special episode kind of deal, and it makes this episode a little bit more palatable in terms of the duration, and then hopefully that will also be a little bit more palatable as kind of its own special deal separately. So, to quote myself earlier, if you want to hear everything we've been up to in terms of Europe trip, movies, TV shows, books, whatever we were doing during the time that we were on hiatus through the end of April, stay tuned. So, having said all of that, I will now say thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, spread the word. If you want to support us on patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat by chucking us a couple bucks a month, you can get early access to all of our regular episodes as well as timed exclusive access to any bonus episodes that we cook up in 2023. And I think that this is an excellent opportunity to take this little Patreon plug a step further. Remember when I said about a minute ago, if you want to hear our stuff about Europe, hear the special episode about Europe, you'd have to stay tuned. Well, I have really good news for anyone listening to this on the regular feed. If you support us on Patreon, you will be able to listen to that right away. You can catch the Patreon version of that special episode and hear all about our stops in Italy, all about our stops in the Netherlands, all that sort of good stuff. And of course, lest we forget what Andrew was up to during that time as well. So I think this is a great time to jump on Patreon because you can be among the first to hear about what we were up to. So I'd encourage you to support us on Patreon. And it's not much, $2 a month, right? We're not asking for a whole lot, and we try to make it worth your while. So that's the end of my pitch. Our website is watchreviewrepeat.com. You can find links to all of our social media accounts there. And if you don't want to do that, then you can go straight to our socials. We are on Twitter at WRRPod. We are on Instagram at watchreviewrepeat. And we are on Facebook at facebook.com/watchreviewrepeat. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, want to send some thoughts on Mando or any of the other kind of things we mentioned at the top of the episode of things that we're hopefully planning to cover in May after we do the special episode, then send those our way, watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com. We'd be happy to do a Listener's Corner on a future episode. And our intro and outro track, It's Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. I feel like I'm beating everyone over the head with this at this point. But yes, our next episode will be the special episode, the fourth special episode that we've done. And if you want to hear about Anna and I's Europe trip, oh boy, we have the episode for you. So so look forward to that. It was a really fun trip. I can tell you that right now. But you're going to get all the gory details on the next episode. So, Andrew, I think it's time for you to take us out.
Hey, take care now. Bye-bye then.
Laters on the Menjay.